3220 of the tobacco retail licensing, decreasing the number of licenses from 32 to 29.
Motion.
We have a second? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Public hearing's open. Anybody willing to stand up?
There's nobody signed up.
Anybody wishing to speak on this? Would you?
What else to say?
We've come a long way.
Less is more.
Yeah, we've come a long way. Was it 3 or 4 years ago? We started right around 40, yeah. But I remember it was a concern of yours for way back then, so I'm happy that it's been a good thing for the community.
Huge.
All right, do we have a motion to close the public hearing?
Motion.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Do we have a motion on the local law amendment?
Motion.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Any comments? Clerk, please call the roll.
Counselor Downs?
Aye.
Counselor Paul?
Yes.
Counselor Sisseton?
Yes.
Counselor Carney?
Yes.
Supervisor Hart?
Yes. All right, do we have a motion to open the public hearing for a local, for a zone change from R2 to O1 at 7145 Buckley Road?
Motion.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Public hearing is open. Is there anybody here to speak?
There's nobody signed up.
The property owner is here. I'm not gonna have him speak unless we have direct questions for him. I do know this, that he is attempting to change the zone from R2 back to what it was, O1. Before he bought the property, it was zoned O1. There was a prospective buyer for it that you two might have remembered this because it happened during the last board. There was a prospective buyer that wanted to do, change it to an R2. Some of the neighbors had came to the meeting about it. Well, the board did change it to an R2, but he ended up not buying the property. And it remained an R2. The property then got sold, and Mr. Rink actually would like it to go back to what it was originally zoned as. So there has been no alterations to the property. I don't see it as a problem. It makes sense for what his business does there. We will not be able to vote on the zone change today because we're still waiting for feedback from the county. We will know after April 9th, but we can close the public hearing if there's a motion to close it.
Motion.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All right, so we will vote on this probably our first meeting in April. We're likely to approve this, depending on what the county says. Do we have a motion for a public hearing for the local law that will amend the anti-nepotism law? Do we have a motion?
Make motion.
There's a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Public hearing is open. Anybody sign up to speak?
I do have Kathy Zavinsky.
Ms. Sabinsky,
Oh,
take your time.
We're not dead for are we?
Take your time. We just need your name and your address for the record.
She's got it all written down, I don't dig it out. Kathy's, you want my formal name or Kathy?
That's fine.
Kathy Zirinsky, 306 Greenpoint Ave, Liverpool,
Thank you.
13080.
Thank you.
How we doing? I am a little miserable, I'll put it up front, so it's been a long day.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah. Went to the today for a while, you know, kid didn't work, family. So, I looked into the different laws in this area regarding nepotism. County doesn't even have one, which then they wouldn't be able to, you know, employ half the people that they do. I work for the county, so I can say that. You have a very strong law, and the problem with me is not knowing what you want to change. Additions, deletions, or amendment makes it hard to make a comment. So I look at it this way. It almost kind of looks that you're creating a solution for a problem that doesn't exist. We have a very tight law in regards to hiring family members. If this is in regards to town supervisor versus a ward officer, or ward officer versus another ward officer, it's a fair and free election, and I don't know how you can put anything on that. So this is my concern. Like I said, not knowing exactly what you want to do makes it very difficult to comment on. So that's basically all I have to say. Thank you much.
Sure. There's I'm reading it quickly just for your sake of it. So you know what the changes are?
No, I never saw a copy of the changes.
Okay, so they're the underlined ones in here. And under section 16-4, D, it says, there's two that I just saw. It says not more than one member of a family shall be a member of the same town board.
Okay.
And then under subsection 16.6, enforcement, $1,000 per day for each day such violation exists. And I believe our town attorney's not here today, but it is New York state law that regulates such for school boards.
Mhm.
And it's the same exact language as the New York state law regulating school boards. So that's, Joe gave me that because he's unfortunately not here today.
So you're saying it's a school board we're talking about?
Nope, school boards have the same preventative measure.
So now you wanna put this in effect for the town?
We're just putting it, we're amending our nepotism law for that,
Okay.
to reflect that.
I'll look into it more. Thank you, I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Are there any other people signed up?
There's.
Is there anybody that is interested in speaking on this? Do we have a motion to close this?
We have to do town board comments, don't we?
Yeah, we can do it during the public hearing, or we can allow that afterwards.
Yeah, I'll do it now. And I will give a copy of this to the town clerk, so that hopefully this makes it into the minutes in its entirety. Please allow me to work through this without any interruptions, and I'm sure there will be comments after. The town of Salina was established over 200 years ago, and anti-nepotism law was never a law or even considered until Supervisor Carroll took office. As everyone knows, our town board consists of 5 individual representatives who should have the ability to make their own decisions based on their own research and should not be influenced by anyone on the board. By initially bringing this law to the table, it shows that certain individuals on this board do not feel that anyone on this board or future boards can think for themselves in matters dealing with family members. Anytime a vote comes up regarding a matter where it could be a potential conflict of interest, I recuse myself. Unlike sometimes when Councilor Carney has voted on several items over the years that directly related to compensation received by his employer from the town, which Supervisor Carroll had no issues with. Supervisor Carroll will deny this, but anyone who has followed what's gone on in this town over the last 6 years knows that this law and how it has been drafted is a direct attack on my family. My family has been involved in this town for 65 years, has served in various volunteer and officer capacities over that time, and never once received any personal gain from it. After finally looking past the smoke and mirrors, here are 2 initial reasons why Supervisor Carroll wanted the anti-nepotism law put into place in the first place. 1, my father served as the 3rd Ward Town Council for 8 years with his focus on code enforcement. My father, not Supervisor Carroll, was the reason the Code Task Force Committee was created, and I have emails to prove that. Right after the anti-nepotism law was put into place, Supervisor Carroll took the step of taking the Code Task Force Committee from an informal committee to an official committee with appointees voted on the town board, which was never how it was before. Because of the wording of the anti-nepotism law, this made it so my father could no longer be a part of the committee, even though he had 8 years of prior experience and documentation to bring to the table. Before all of this, my father had spoken out publicly against the town board, including myself in some of those comments. Number 2, a highly qualified individual, my older brother Dominic, interviewed for a position for the planning board. He would have provided a dynamic we did not and still do not have on the town board, being a real estate broker. The initial reason he was denied had nothing to do with him being my brother or his qualifications. It was that he spoke out publicly against the town board multiple times, once again including me in some of those comments. I find it interesting that if Supervisor Carroll was so against nepotism, why would he suggest grandfathering in employees who, at the time, were family members working in the same department, and even voted in favor of my youngest brother working for the Parks Department multiple times? While the supervisor was working for the county legislator, he leveraged getting his wife at the time a job with the county. This all goes against the beliefs of being anti-nepotism. The excuse being used to bring the specific addition to the table tonight is a law that states that 2 family members cannot serve on the same school board. School boards and town boards are 2 entirely different entities with different responsibilities. We have a member of this town board who also sits on a school board, showing that there is no correlation between the 2. If you go to the New York State School Boards Association's official website, it states that family members cannot serve on the same school board only if they live in the same household. So there is some additional research that needs to be done to understand this discrepancy in what the actual law is. The real reason for this addition to the anti-nepotism law that is up for consideration is directly correlated to a family member of mine who was considering running against Supervisor Carroll for office, my mother. This is someone that Supervisor Carroll threatened to remove by the police from a Mattydale Senior Group meeting because she showed up with his opponent last election, even though my mom had been a member of the group long before this interaction occurred and went to meetings occasionally over the last few years. This addition being considered tonight was never thought of the first time that this law was brought up for consideration, and only showed up on our agenda the week after my mom was considering running against Supervisor Barrow. This is also happening in just enough time before petitions to be put on the ballot are to be presented to the Board of Elections, which the passing of this edition of the law would invalidate those. My family has always had a strict policy that no one should ever run unopposed, and if no one else steps up, then we must stand on our morals and let the people have a choice. Ultimately, this addition to the law is unconstitutional and a direct interference of elections by leveraging government power to silence individuals who speak out against our town supervisor. This is what dictators and tyrants do when they feel threatened that they may lose their power. They make it harder for the people to have a choice in their elections and limit one's constitutional right to run for office. I think that this entire nepotism law is an overstep of government and is telling the voters and this town board that they are not capable of making decisions on their own and need the government or Supervisor Barrow to tell them what to do. I will be voting no on this addition to the law if the vote comes up. Let the people choose who they want to represent them, not government policy.
Are there any other comments? None? Do we have a motion to close the public hearing?
Motion.
Do we have a second to close the public hearing?
Second.
All in favor of closing the public hearing, please say aye.
Aye.
Alright. I will respond to it very briefly. I appreciate the comments. They're not rooted in fact. This is not even my idea. It was brought to me by somebody else. In spite of your accusations against me, I guess, I'm going to be hopefully a change agent on it and make a motion to table this for the sake of your speech. Do we have a second to table this?
Second.
We have a second to table. Clerk, please call the roll.
Counselor Dallas?
Aye.
Counselor Paul?
Yes.
Counselor Cicarelli?
Nope.
Counselor Carney?
Nope.
Supervisor Barrow?
Yes, and it's tabled. So, confused why you voted no on it, but you kind of got your way, so. Do we have a motion to open the public hearing for a,
For tabling it, are we able to have our lawyer kind of touch base on some of the comments we heard regarding the county having a law and how it relates to the school board?
yeah, I think,
Just to have him speak on it?
I think you didn't have anything specific with it, but you just said you didn't know what was in it. Is there a specific legal question that you would like us to pose to our attorney, Kathy?
Well, I would ask the proceeding lady to suggest to do that, stopping a person from running in a fair and free election.
So, a
That would be
town,
my question, do you have the right to say, no, you can't run in this election based on a family member running for the same or a different position?
yes, so a town, a government agency only needs to prove a very low threshold, a rational basis threshold. In most instances, it's similar to there's preventative measures on who can vote. If you've committed crimes, you can actually run for office, even at the federal level.
Yeah, there's no proven.
Yeah, at the federal level, there's preventative measures on who can run for office. I think, in fact, if we remember correctly, all the way up at the presidential levels, there were people that were suggesting that certain people should not be able to run for president. There is a long list of legal precedent on this. Our town attorney, when this was posed to me, I brought it to the town attorney to get a legal opinion on it. He provided a legal opinion to suggest that our town attorney or myself, and I'm not saying you suggested this, I'm just making a public statement, suggested the town attorney or myself would put a law that's not legal to vote, I think would do all five of us an injustice, of it. So, and it sounds like from the School Board Association, which is not the state, that's not state law from whatever is listed on state law, but they have a restriction on who can be on the school board. So the very low basis of just having a rational measure for something is easily met. So yes, that one I can answer. I think you have certain questions that you brought up that can be submitted, and Joe can review your lengthy statement and provide feedback for it if that will make you feel comfortable.
I'd like that, yes.
Sure. Any other comments? Do we have a motion to open the public hearing for a change of zone from I-1 for properties at or around Terminal Road?
Motion.
Do we have a second? All in favor, please say aye.
I,
Okay. Anybody sign up to speak on this?
Nobody signed up to speak.
Is there anybody here that would like to speak on this? All right, do we have a motion to close?
I have no comment, by the way, if you'd like to. So actually, I'm gonna make, this is for the public hearing, this is from the owner of Accessibility Solutions, Victoria Fox. And she wanted to let the board know that she's in favor of it, and, she's letting the board be aware of that, she's on the rep.
Perfect. Do,
Victoria Fox. I'll make a motion to close the public hearing.
do we have a second? All right, all in favor?
I,
All right, we cannot vote on this again, similar reasons for the other property. We will be able to vote on it in our meeting in April. Residents wishing to speak, do we have anybody signed up?
I do it, Heather, what? You said her, Heather.
Ms. White, if you could give your name and address for the record.
Absolutely. My name is Heather White. I live at 7070 Buckley Road. Sorry, that wasn't stationary.
I'm sorry if it wasn't locked, I apologize.
No, you're good. I was feeling like I was going crazy for a second.
What's going on?
Alright, my name is Heather White. I am a Thomas Salina resident, mom of 4, with 2 special needs children, an animal lover, business owner, and the 2025 sponsor of Salina Bombers of the League. I am an active community member and activist looking to legalize ownership of backyard hens in the town of Salina. This has been a topic of conversation for years now. I know you all have heard it, but movement on the subject has never been made. Chickens are amazing animals that come along with so many social, economical, and environmental benefits. Of course, we know that hens give us eggs, but is there any other reason why they would be beneficial to the town of Salina? Not only do they give us eggs, they provide a fantastic learning opportunity and development of responsibility for young children, not just my special needs children, but children all over, as any animal can. They naturally help reduce waste by eating things like strawberry tops, meat going bad in your fridge, and even kale when it's black slug. And chickens also eat unwanted pests like mosquitoes and ticks, which prove to be a problem literally year after year, especially in this area. Even their waste is beneficial. Fertilizer contains phosphorus, nitrogen, and potassium, all of which are in chicken manure. And when composted correctly, can lead to more beautiful flowers and more fruitful gardens. I am well aware that many residents will present concerns, and some of you probably have them going through your head right now, with chickens being allowed in the town of Salina. Some common concerns including noise. Hens chirping is approximately 50 to 60 decibels, which is no louder than a human conversation. Not humans yelling, but a human conversation. Odor. When properly maintained, a coop can be virtually scent-free between regular waste scooping and planting of herbs like rosemary to work with natural airflow. This all comes down to responsible ownership. I have smelled irresponsible dog owners' yards that have smelled far worse than any chicken coop I've ever encountered. Predators and pests is definitely a common issue that I hear and see all of the time, especially when I lived in another area and my grandparents had them. Predators and pests are already attracted to stray cats, and there are hundreds in the town of Salina, probably more than hundreds, we could be reaching out. But anyway, outdoor cats, squirrels, bird feeders, and every single trash bin as well as dumpster in the area. We are just as likely to see a rat or fox now as we will be if chickens are legalized. Infectious diseases like salmonella in the bird flu is a common concern. The fact of the matter is that dogs, cats, and humans all carry and transmit infectious diseases as is. We are far less likely to catch a disease from a chicken when you wash your hands after handling than you are from a stray cat that scratches you in the leg. Far more illnesses and hospitalizations come every year from ticks and mosquitoes that chickens eat. These are diseases like Zika, West Nile, and Lyme disease. And I will end with this. I'm not advocating to own roosters that will crow and wake my neighbors and reproduce with my hens, nor am I advocating for a slaughterhouse in my backyard. I'm advocating for responsible ownership of hens as pets and the freedom to be able to grow and thrive with my family and the animals I choose to love and care for. Supporting my mission does not mean that you have to own chickens. It simply means that you believe the town residents deserve to.
All right, do we have anybody else on this? anybody that is interested in speaking? I believe you have a petition, I think we mentioned it.
Yep.
When you are comfortable, submit it to my office. And,
Should I change the address to you?
who is it?
Does it matter who it's addressed to? I have it addressed to the director of the codes of operations.
Yeah, that'll work.
And the town clerk. I wasn't sure if it really mattered because I know that it goes to a vote. Or should I just?
Well, it will do, what will happen first is, in the codes office is fine, that'll work. Because it's gotta go in front of our codes, the official committee, of the codes task force, which Daniel and Lisa both sit on, along with a couple residents of our town as well. They'll discuss it first, and then from that committee, it will be referred to the town board. Potentially, they may not refer it on, but if they do, they could refer it to the town board, and then the town board would have considerations and public hearings on it. So that's the process, just so you're fully aware. But until you submit the petition, I will probably say that it's unlikely that we'll take any action on one way or the other until you actually submit the petition, okay?
Mhm. I'm trying to get more signatures first.
That's why I said when you're ready. So be comfortable with the number of signatures you have,
Yeah.
okay?
Mhm.
Alright, first board comments.
None?
Second board comments.
It's spring and a few residents have said about people picking up after their dogs, so this is just a request that if you have a pet, please pick up after it. I've had a few people saying that it's already started, so just putting it out there.
Alright. Third board.
Yes, two comments. So, there has been some people contacting me about stuff being illegally dumped, as far as near the bike trail or near the woods and things like that. If you do see something, please either contact me directly or our highway department, so we're able to address that as soon as possible. And that goes for anything else you might see in the neighborhood that just seems a little off, that probably shouldn't be there, please let us know. Also, the Manual Neighborhood Watch and the Third Ward Community Group have received information from the Manual Fire Department. They will be able to have their meetings there. They haven't gotten specific dates yet, but they're targeting for their first meeting to be the end of April. Thank you.
Fourth board.
Yeah, I just think, keep in mind there is a burn ban statewide, and we've seen recently fires in multiple neighborhoods, so, please recognize the burn ban. Secondly, I had an opportunity to tour the community center today with Supervisor Paro and a couple other staff members here at Town Hall, and this project is along the way. It looks amazing, and to be able to set eyes on it, really, you can see the vision and what we feel, how it's going to transform the community in Manuel. So I urge anybody just to, not go in the building, but go around back, see as it's being developed, take some pictures, and kind of monitor the process. It looks great, and I'm looking forward to it being completed. So thank you.
Awesome. I don't need to speak about that. You did a great job just now. Not to completely embarrass her, but I just want to say how blessed I am today to have my beautiful wife here. This is her first town board meeting, so I'm happy that she's able to be here and witness the show. All right. Do we have a motion to schedule the public hearing for the consolidated 5-year plan? Go ahead.
Minutes, go back to number 7.
Moving too fast. Do we have a motion to approve the March 10th, 2025 minutes? Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
It is passed unanimously. Now, do we have a motion to schedule a public hearing for the consolidated 5-year plan for March 14th at 6:31? April 14th at 6:31. Do we have a second?
Second.
All right, clerk, please call the roll.
Counselor Downs?
Aye.
Counselor Paul?
Yes.
Counselor Siscoto?
Yes.
Counselor Carney?
Yes.
Counselor Karen?
Yes. Next, what's that?
That's up there, sorry.
It's okay. Resolution to adopt the final order related to the extension to Consolidated Sewer District Number 5, Buckley Sewer District. This is associated with the former kickball field. We've voted and approved this numerous times. This is the final order. Joe explained it to me, this is final order. I don't have much more of an explanation than that. Do we have a motion? And it's in the first ward. You wanna make a motion?
Motion.
Okay, do we have a second?
Second.
Clerk, please call the roll.
Counselor Downs?
Aye.
Counselor Paul?
Yes.
Counselor Cicerelli?
Yes.
Counselor Carney?
Yes.
Supervisor Farrell?
Yes. Do we have a, motion on the resolution authorizing the town supervisor to sign an amendment to the Declaration of Covenants in substantiality? I don't know what that says.
Substantially the form presented at the meeting. I asked Joe, he said all of those words.
That's the language you wanted,
And I said,
okay.
it's gonna
I don't
work.
think that's proper, I don't think that's a proper sentence.
It's
But regardless, do we have for me to sign the amendment, on the covenants form presented at 3/24/25 meeting? Yeah, I don't know what the end of that says, but it's the declaration of covenants on the property back behind Buckley Lane. Do we have a motion? Do we have a second?
Second.
Clerk, please call the roll.
Counselor Downs?
Aye.
Counselor Paul?
Yes.
Counselor Cicerelli?
Yes.
Counselor Carney?
Yes.
Supervisor Farrell?
Yes. Joe must have given you that sentence in the middle of the night or something.
I responded, I said, do you want to include all of this? He said, yes. I said, okay, it's gonna look at the county, I'm not gonna blame you, and then it doesn't show up.
He's not even, he set you up. Alright, do we have a motion to approve budget modifications and transfers? There's only a $500 transfer, from the unreserved fund balance to Liverpool hydrants. It's all in one special district.
Motion.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Clerk, please call the roll.
Counselor Downs?
Aye.
Counselor Paul?
Yes.
Counselor Cicerelli?
Yes.
Counselor Carney?
Yes.
Supervisor Farrell?
Yeah, yes, do we have a motion for the cleanup orders as listed on the agenda?
Motion.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Clerk, please call the roll.
Counselor Downs?
Aye.
Counselor Paul?
Yes.
Counselor Cicerelli?
Yes.
Counselor Carney?
Yes.
Supervisor Farrell?
Yes. Next is to authorize the supervisor to sign a one-year extension to the streetlight maintenance contract with the Power Authority of the State of New York, NYPA. I negotiated this down to just 1 year. Our contract is up. We don't have something new yet, but I didn't wanna get locked into more than 1 year. Do we have a motion?
Motion.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Clerk, please call the roll.
Counselor Downs?
Aye.
Counselor Paul?
Yes.
Counselor Cicerelli?
No, these numbers are just crazy.
Yeah. We don't have,
I don't know which one's better.
and my, like I had said to the ladies publicly, was we just haven't been able to get a negotiation with somebody else yet.
Yep.
So they were trying to force us into a 2-year contract, and I got us down to a 1-year contract, so that way we can continue negotiating, trying to find something separate.
Counselor Carney?
Yes.
Supervisor Farrell?
Yes. Do we have a motion to approve the temporary street closure of Malden Road and Westwood Ave from Hinsdale Fire Department to Burnham Park for the Salina Bombers Little League Parade?
Motion.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Clerk, please call the roll.
Counselor Downs?
Aye.
Counselor Paul?
Yes.
Counselor Cicerelli?
Yes.
Counselor Carney?
Yes.
Supervisor Farrell?
Yes, this is to authorize the town to release the request for proposals for tree removal contract. Do we have a motion?
Motion.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Clerk, please call the roll.
Counselor Downs?
Aye.
Counselor Paul?
Yes.
Counselor Cicerelli?
Yes.
Counselor Carney?
Yes.
Supervisor Farrell?
Yes, the next is appoint Jacob Talone to the position of appraisal aide effective March 24th. March 25th? March 25th, and, well, I'll say March 24th, at an hourly rate of $30.99. Do we have a motion?
Motion.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Clerk, please call the roll.
Counselor Downs?
Aye.
Counselor Paul?
Yes.
Counselor Cicerelli?
Yes.
Counselor Carney?
Yes.
Supervisor Farrell?
Yes. Oh, that's the promotion. He got promoted to appraisal aide. The next one is to appoint Darrell Forsythe to the position of assessment clerk effective March 26th at an hourly rate of $28.63.
Motion.
Second.
Clerk, please call the roll.
Counselor Downs?
Aye.
Counselor Paul?
Yes.
Counselor Cicerelli?
Yes.
Counselor Carney?
Yes.
Supervisor Farrell?
Yes. The next is a motion to create the account clerk 1 position on the New York Helps program.
Motion.
Second.
Clerk, please call the roll.
Counselor Downs?
Aye.
Counselor Paul?
Yes.
Counselor Cicerelli?
Yes.
Counselor Carney?
Yes.
Supervisor Farrell?
Yes. The next is a motion to appoint Tiffany
Chimney.
Yeah, say that again? That's how you pronounce it. Yeah, I just had a tongue twister. To the position of town clerk 1, New York Health, the position we just created, effective March 24th, 2025, an hourly rate of $25.76. That is what she currently makes.
Motion.
Second.
Clerk, please call the roll.
Counselor Downs?
Aye.
Counselor Paul?
Yes.
Counselor Cicarelli?
Yes.
Counselor Carney?
Yes.
Supervisor Curry?
Yes. Do we have an approval of the seasonal parks waiver appointment submitted by the highway department?
I just have one quick question, 'cause I know we typically have the gatekeepers with this as well. Is that something that's gonna be down the road? 'Cause I know there's 2 parks that do have them.
Call highway.
Got it, okay.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Clerk, please call the roll.
Counselor Downs?
Aye.
Counselor Paul?
Yes.
Counselor Cicarelli?
Yes.
Counselor Carney?
Yes.
Supervisor Curry?
Yes. We have a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
We have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Take care, folks. Thank you all.